Riot's new team tactics first-person shooter that was codenamed Project A when it was announced back in October has officially been renamed Valorant. Hello everybody, I am MrMiles, and today I want to do a video breakdown of the gameplay trailer that the Valorant team posted earlier this week called The Round. But before we get started, if you happen to like the video, don't forget to smash the like button, mosey over to the subscribe button, and ring the bell to be notified as soon as I post a new video. Also, I stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/MrMilesTV. Alright guys, let's get into it. So what I want to do is I want to play through the video, stopping it periodically to show off some of the different things that I thought were interesting throughout the footage, maybe some of the character abilities, as well as kind of go through what it is that we're viewing in terms of the game mode and the overall objective. Now, first, what we're looking at right now actually is the in-game store. I believe that takes place at the beginning of the match as well as in between each round. I believe actually there are 24 rounds to this particular game mode, which works as a bit of a control point where you're setting off a device as the attacking team, and when that device explodes at either a point A, B, or C, the round would be over. As the defending team, you are actually trying to figure out which point, whether or not it is A, B, or C, that the enemy team will be trying to place that explosive device, and if it is planted, you are going to be trying to defuse it. Now, in this in-game store here, actually, we're actually viewing the loadout of Phoenix, who is one of the characters. I see that he has a sidearm, as well as different options for a sidearm. So if you're working in a map that's going to have some decent CQB, potentially you'll go with a shorty or perhaps a sheriff. If you're going to be, working in a map that has a, long range fire lanes, you could go with the operator or the marshal. He does come with a few different abilities. We are seeing Blaze, which acts as a wall that obscures the vision of both your team as well as the enemy team. Curveball, which acts as a bit of a flashbang type fireball. The cool thing about Curveball is that either utilizing your left click or your right click, you can actually control the trajectory, the curvature of where that is going. So if you want to curve your Curveball around a corner or something like that, I'm assuming you could do that. Once it explodes, it will blind anybody who sees it. And then you'll have Hot Hands, which works like a grenade. So you would throw that up. If it lands or hits or impacts any type of hard surface, it will explode into an AoE effect, doing damage to anybody within that effect. If you actually happen to be Phoenix and are within that area of effect, I keep saying that word, it will actually heal you. Now you can see here there are little radio buttons next to each one of those abilities. One for Blaze, two for Curveball, and one for Hot Hands. This gives me the indication that you actually only get limited use of these abilities, two for Curveball, one for each of Blaze and Hot Hands. So you could really use those two abilities once per round and would have to replenish them at the start of each round. And then over on the right hand side, actually kind of down below next to the abilities, we have a fourth ability that is not able to be purchased, and it looks like he doesn't have enough points for that. So just really interesting to have this ability or these abilities to purchase guns, maybe tailor your abilities for the team that you're facing, depending on who they have for characters. All right, moving on.
Seriously, even if they
can I get a gun?
All right, so it looks like one of his teammates asked for a gun. Looks like they possibly didn't have enough currency. So as a good friend, you're able to purchase guns, maybe different, a shield or something like that for your teammates. Now, real quick, it looks like we have a couple different, you should look at the top here. We have a 5v5 situation going on. We're actually seeing the perspective of the defensive team.
I'll have my ult.
So each team has a Sage, which is a healer, a Silver, which would be this kind of archer character, a Jet, who is an assassin. This particular defensive team has Brimstone, who's kind of like your field commander. And then I'm actually not sure who this is. That might be Cypher, possibly. I'm not sure though. But they also have a Viper on their team as well. So we'll see actually one of Viper's abilities later on.
Y'all notice? It's real quiet in here. Quiet, like a library out here.
So actually this is a great view of the actual map. So we'll have points A, B, and C. As I said, we are viewing the perspective of the defensive team who is now setting up pre-round. We got 14 seconds left in this pre-round to take our defensive positions and figure out where the attacking team is going to be planting their explosive spike.
Oh gosh.
What we just saw actually is an ability of Jet's. She has the ability to utilize Upwind, I believe, or not Upwind, Updraft. I don't know what Upwind would be, but Updraft, which gives her the ability to jump up to higher, to reach places. She also has a couple other abilities. One would be her signature ability called Tailwind, gives her kind of a quick burst forward, backward, left, or right. As well as a cloud burst, which gives her the ability to throw up different orbs to obscure vision, block off doorways, I believe, as well as Blade Storm, which looks pretty badass. So actually see a bit of that in a little bit.
Should we do it? Should we go? I think Kuzi gassed himself out.
Sometimes it happens, you know?
You're not gonna get an inch.
All right, so right here we're seeing Blaze used firsthand out of Phoenix, gives you up that wall that obscures your vision. It looks like you can't see, past that as an ally, and as an enemy you can't see, through that as well. But if you were to pass through it, it would do damage.
That's that garage. That garage, yeah.
So what we actually just saw was an ability from Sova. It actually works just like, I would say, Hanzo's Sonic Arrow ability, which on impact will send out a kind of a sonar, giving you the location of the enemy team.
Will you have to cover my body if I use it up here? Oh,
As we see there.
nice start.
Embarrassing.
And they were
Just kill the
easily
door.
able to dispatch one of the enemy team.
Help. Yeah, I'm good.
That was really good. Close.
Alright.
Up sewer.
Sova in mid. Could help. No. I'm gonna lean A here. You think they're coming?
Blocking sight.
No.
So we're getting a lot of cool communication between the team, saying who's coming where. Sova, the enemy Sova is coming up the middle, so you're able to kind of shift towards that location.
Pick up B. Pick up B. Res.
That's
fine.
That ability right there is actually one of Jet's abilities. This is the orb that she's able, the cloud burst that she's able to throw out. I think she's able to get 3 of those that she throw out to different areas kind of in front of her. And I think she can also change the trajectory of that orb as well.
Res.
That's
fine.
long A.
Sewer, right?
Now, actually, this is pretty cool. This wall that we see here, we actually didn't see it deployed, but this is an ability of Sage's. She's able to put down this wall. So if you're looking to block off an entryway, maybe you actually have a fallen comrade, and one of her abilities is the ability to res somebody who's died on the battlefield. And there are no reses in this game. I'm sorry, not reses, but there are no respawns in this game. So a character who has a res actually would be pretty powerful. It might be actually one of the most powerful ultimates or abilities in the game itself. Now, actually, kind of like May's wall from Overwatch, you do have to DPS this wall down in order to get rid of it.
Pick up B.
Oh, real quick. Additionally,
Pick up B.
this is another one of
Long A.
Sova's abilities. Sova's, not Sover, but Sova's abilities. This would be the shock bolt. So this emits an AoE shock that would do damage to anybody caught within it.
Pick up B. I can help you get out. Hey.
So we saw Jet again use that ability to help get a Sova out of kind of a tight spots. And we can also see her daggers here. This is part of her ultimate. I believe she can actually throw them individually, but might also with the alternate fire be able to throw them all at the same time. But I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that one.
One still in grass. I'm just ulting.
So we just heard what I believe is Brimstone's ultimate go off. So kind of like Overwatch, once they're going to do their, a character does their ultimate, we actually get an emote. We get something that's broadcasted. So you're able to kind of either as the enemy get kind of a heads up, but also as the ally be able to maybe pair one of your ultimates with another teammate's ultimate. Now we actually don't see this ultimate kind of go off, but the way that it works is it's an orbital strike, much like Gibraltar's is from Apex.
Your front of B.
Big
I'm gonna drone outside of Elon just to.
So Sova, I keep saying Sova. Sova also has the ability to deploy a drone that you could use to spy on your enemy if you wanted to.
Check.
Welcome to my world.
Let's see.
And then I believe the Welcome to My World emote actually is Viper's ultimate ability as well. This is called Toxic Screen. Basically what she does is she deploys a line of gas that emits, basically creates a tall, actually no, I'm wrong. That's not what it is. It's called Viper's Pit. And it emits a massive toxic cloud in a large area. And it stays basically as long as Viper stays inside of the cloud itself. So as soon as enemies cross within it, they'll be highlighted and Viper will be able to see them. So we'll see a bit of that Viper's Pit in action.
I've got dags we can retake together.
So as you're in it, actually, you can see right here, as an enemy, you'll see a bit of a decay or a dot. So it's damage over time. So the longer that you're in it, the more damage that it does to you. And actually what we can see right here is an indication that the attack team actually has planted their explosive spike. So it looks like they're going to be, if you actually take a look at the map, we can actually see that they're on the C point right here, planting that spike.
Oh, get me out of here!
Okay, put the other one. I'm gonna go this way with dags.
Let me go first with my dart.
So
So Sova's going to use a dart to see if they can find where the enemy is.
Smoke in the corners.
See one of
Oh.
them?
Close left.
Alright, let's do this.
Now we actually get to see one of Brimstone's abilities here, and it's a stim pack. Now I don't believe it does any healing, so you would still, in Viper's Pit, kind of have to gauge your health there. But what it does do is give you rapid fire, so you're able to put off more shots in a shorter period of time. So really good for high DPS moments.
One in the.
But we see him die anyway.
One enemy left.
Alright, let's go.
And then up at the top here, we can actually see a 3v1 going on. So we just have Viper from the attack team left. They have planted the explosive spike, so they do have a chance of winning. And it's the defensive team ability. 3 people here, equipped with a healer who is Sage, can still have the ability to defuse that explosive spike.
All together. He was right here.
But we see 2 go down instantly. And actually what is really cool is you can see right on the map when either your enemies go down or your allies. I think your allies persist on the map for the entire round, whereas the enemy not so much. So right now we have a 1v1. We have Sova, who's left over, as well as Viper.
Not like this.
Real cool, actually. I'm just gonna back it up just a smidge here. Just a smidge. So because he is actually in the area that Brimstone threw down his stim pack, we can actually see the effect kind of on the outer picture here of our screen, so that we know that we're actually benefiting from that rapid fire stim pack.
Yeah!
Oh.
What?
All right, so the defending Sova was able to dispatch the last and final member of the attack team, and now they are defusing the explosive spike before it goes off.
The raid boss.
Oh my! No, not like this!
Not like this!
Okay. Get that
All
ball.
right, and the defense gets their win. What I really liked about watching this gameplay footage is seeing how the tactics work, the communication between the different members of the team. The gunplay is very lethal. The abilities are very lethal. There are no respawns, so when you die, you're not coming back unless you have a Sage. So the communication is key. Being able to utilize abilities to play off other abilities. So having a Phoenix throw up a blaze so you can't see the enemy, they can't see you, but then having your Sova throw out their sonic arrow. I keep wanting to say sonic arrow because it reminds me so much of Hanzo. Having those two abilities work together, having Sage maybe throw up one of their her barrier and then resurrect a fallen ally, I just think all of that plays really well together in what seems to be a very quick round. And that round was only just over 2 minutes. So having those quick rounds, no respawns, I think is going to be very interesting. Say like in maybe a competitive mode, a ranked mode within the game, or even within esports. So really exciting to see what happens with this game if we're going to be getting different modes. I believe right now there's 8 characters confirmed. I think 12 will be shipped upon launch, which is coming actually this summer, so summer 2020. So very exciting times. If you're just getting into Valorant or just hearing about it now, stay tuned because we're going to be getting a lot more information on this game to come. Guys, and that's going to do it for me. I want to thank you all for watching my very first gameplay preview video breakdown thingamajig, if that's what this was. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the video itself, as well as if you're excited to play Valorant, what you're most excited about it, and I'm interested in hearing all of your thoughts and feelings upon the subject. And if you did like the video, definitely give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button and the bell icon to be sure to be notified when I post a new video. And don't forget, I do stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/MrMilesTV. And that's gonna do it for me, guys. Take it easy, take care, and I'll see you next time.